Hello, Assalamualaikum, Wanakam, and Namaste. My name is Zaman, we who representing AGC, and today I would like to present topic titled Adaptations. Shall we proceed? Now, let me start with the first subchapter of adaptations, adapting task on environment. When usually adapting a task, therapists or interventionists use other adaptive approaches to assist the child's task completion, such as substitute movement patterns, other physical techniques, and more. And adaptation strategies usually may include methods modifications, assistive technology usage, and environment modifications. And therapists usually regularly use the combination of all these three mentioned adaptation process or approaches to upskill the child's performance. Usually, therapists practice adaptation methods in various contexts and modify them until they become very useful. Now, we are going to adapting task methods. Therapists or interventionists often modify the task by applying grading methods. And grading is a task adaptation to fit the child abilities. And by using the task analysis, the therapist rates the subtask of the task and divide them according to the child's difficulty level. Like contohnya senang to susah lah. And therapists also may grade the task according to specific qualities. For example, simple to complex. Like contoh yang paling bagus adalah dari mula potong Play-Doh dulu, lepas tu pergi potong kertas, then so on. When the task grading may include gradual increase of number of steps for which the child is responsive and more. Like example, give 5 trials first for each task, and after this increase to 6, 7, 8, and so on. And when the child struggles to complete the task independently, then partial participation is applied. Partial participation is a process when the child performs some task steps and the therapist finishes the remaining steps. Like contohnya puzzle lah, the child itu boleh contohnya 10 piece puzzle, child itu sempat boleh buat 5, yang balance 5 itu dia struggle. Lepas tu therapist datang bantu, help and fix the 5 more puzzle. And partial participation is regularly used when the children are very new to tasks. Just say they are newcomers, they're learning how to adapt to the new environment and want to build rapport with them. Now, coming to the usage of assistive technology devices. And several assistive devices are available through various channels such as equipment vendors or shops or catalogs and more. These devices or items are constantly changing and differ in price and quality. Some can be cheaper, some can be very expensive, high quality, maybe international brand like that. And these items are usually available either commercially or custom made by therapists, skilled or orthotists and more. And the choice of assistive items is a cooperative decision made by the child, parents, therapists, and others associated with the child, like maybe guardians and then some sister, brother of the child or anyone. And together, those involved systematically evaluate what the child needs to do, performance, context, and more. And usually assistive device or technology should fulfill the following needs to be very useful or beneficial. Here are the requirements, like one, need to assist the child's task and be acceptable to the child and the family and anyone associated with it, and be practical and flexible for the environment, and being durable, being expendable, be safe for the usage, cannot be very dangerous or rosak senang, have a system of maintenance, and meet the cost constraints. Should not be like very burden lah in terms of cost. Now, continuing from the same chapter, assistive technology usage. Overall, the child should be able to complete any task or activities at a higher level of efficiency by using the device or tools compared to when he or she could without the items or device. A trial run of the device is very strongly encouraged or suggested. This usually helps to determine the usage feasibility and shows its value to the child and primary caregivers, so it will be useful. And caregiver roles are eased and disenangkan lah supaya tak susah-susah by assistive items usage. Now we shall proceed with the physical environment adaptations. Physical environment adaptations or alterations usually happens when the non-human aspects which don't involve animals or human items of environment is altered. Like example may include the simple changes to lighting can change the brightness, and then also the floor surface from rough surface to smooth like that, and many more. Once in a while architectural and physical barriers modification are suggested. For example, a family places the computer on a more proper work surface so that a child who uses wheelchair can use it with comfort. For example, a child with wheelchair cannot use normal table, so you have to heighten the table a bit and put it like so he can reach for the computer, like that example. Now we shall proceed to work surface, which is a sub of the changing adapting environment. Work surface usually supports the child, tools and more in a task. Workspace barriers usually help or assist the children to stay safe within environment so they won't end up in danger or what. Therapists add various colors and more to the work surface to give sensory hints about barriers. Like you can colorize the wall with red, blue, and multiple rainbow colors, so the child's sensory input will increase and he will start to feel the colors and more. And work surface attributes that are open to adaptation include height, size, and more. And changes in these aspects enhance the child's functions in many ways, including improving arm support and more. And also if height example work surface, you can expand the wall and you can expand the floor and more. Okay, now we are proceeding to the subchapter called positioning. Therapists or interventionists examine the position of the child and materials when planning therapy or interventions. If possible, therapists or interventionists apply the most common position for a given task with fewest controls for body function stabilization. Like for example, you can put the child sit closer to the table so he won't need to exert more force to reach for any items on the table. And children with posture problems or issues often lack enough control to maintain stable postures. They sometimes bend down or slouch and more. And during the activity, and they usually benefit from adaptive positioning. Adaptive positioning may include usage of other positions, for example, like sitting instead of standing, and low technology device, like which example you can use pillow, towel rolls or more, or high technology device like wheelchairs and more. And if an adaptive device the items are used, therapists need to consider whether the device assists or hinders aided performance. Like kena tengok lah barang itu ada bagi banyak benefit ke atau menghalang buat performance. Now still continuing in the same subchapter, positioning. Alternative body positions are very important or crucial for disabled children. These changes usually compensate for physical limitation in body functions such as strength, joint control and more. Just say a child with a joint problem, we cannot walk with GMS, so it's very poor. So if you give him a assistive device like making him sit on the chair and do such, you will help him to do tasks very easily. And therapist or intervention usually considers positions that increase independent task performance. Now here is the reference for my topic, Adaptations. I refer a book titled Occupational Therapy for Children, 6th edition, pages 487 to 492. And I would like thank you very much for listening to the topic, and have a nice day and happy Diwali to all.